I'm going to speak in Spanish.
Gentleman is going to speak in Spanish.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the LaLiga's panel. This panel is called View on the Changing Broadcast Landscape. I must tell you that this talk will be in Spanish. If you need to request translation services, this is the time. Bueno, buenas tardes y bienvenidos todos.
Welcome to all of you.
Este es el panel de
This is the La Liga's panel.
El panel es La Liga, el panorama cambiante de la
In other words, the changing broadcast environment.
Señor Javier Tebas, que ya lo conocen todos.
Mr. Javier Tebas, you all know him. He is the president of La Liga.
Les hago un pequeño resumen de lo que se trata
And
el panel y
so we're going to briefly summarize what the panel
Los
is all
espectadores de hoy
about.
tienen más formas que nunca,
So
de acceder al
today,
entretenimiento y a la información.
all
Los canales
different
online
spectators have
como
all
Dazen,
different
Amazon, Facebook,
sorts
YouTube
of way
y otros
in order
ofrecen
to
una
access
alternativa a medios
content.
de retransmisión no
They can do it
tradicionales.
through Facebook, through social
significa
channels,
esto para el titular de los
through
derechos?
tablets.
¿Y qué desafíos y
What does this
oportunidades ofrece para el
mean
mundo de
for
la
right
retransmisión online?
holders?
Es sobre lo que va a
And
hablar el presidente
so
de la
this
Liga,
is what
Javier Tebas.
Javier Tebas is going to tell you all about.
Empezar por
So
un pequeño
let us
video
start with a
de
small
la Liga.
video that will show you what La Liga is all about.
How was Spain?
It was great. The locals are a bit mad. They go crazy for football. And they do the weirdest things to bring their team good luck. Kids sign up as club members before they can even walk. They'd rather be late for a wedding than miss a game. And you know what? They don't just watch the game. They feel it. People cry when they lose, but they cry even more when they win. The most incredible thing, it's totally contagious. It's like when you watch a match,
Hey, vamos, amigo!
you become one of them. That can't be football. That's got to be something else.
Bueno, muy bien.
Okay, so thank you very much.
¿Por qué no es
Now,
fútbol?
why
Es la
is it
Liga.
not football? It's La Liga.
Lo que queremos transmitir
Well,
hoy es
what we
que-
want
que-
to
que
transmit
la
and
Liga
convey
es
today
mucho más
is
que un
that
tema de
La Liga
deporte,
is
no
a
es
lot
ocio, es
more than
entretenimiento,
just
es
a
solidaridad,
football game
es
or
responsabilidad social corporativa,
it's
es
the corporate social
sentimiento, es
responsibility,
pasión,
it's a
es
feeling,
una
it's
forma de ver el
passion,
fútbol
it's
que-
a form
que
of
estamos
looking at
intentando
football
transmitir a todos nuestros fans
that
en
we
el
want
mundo
to
entero, ¿no?
transmit to all of our fans.
¿Cómo aumenta la
How
Liga
does
el
La
valor
Liga
de su
increase, in other words, the sale
Nosotros,
of its product?
sobre todo desde
Well,
hace 2
since
años,
a couple of years,
hemos cambiado un poco la
we
estrategia de lo
have
que es la Liga
changed
como
the
organización, ¿no?
strategy of the
El
organization
primer cambio ha sido
itself.
el que
And
ya no somos solo
we are
organizadores de la
not just
competición,
organizers of the
nos
competition,
consideramos como
but we
una
consider
compañía de
ourselves
entretenimiento
as
que
an
tiene
entertainment
un gran
company.
contenido,
We've got
que todos los
huge
fines de semana,
content and every
en
single
directo
week
es su
and
máximo esplendor, ¿no?
and
Cuando estamos
live.
dando nuestros partidos, nuestros
We
10
have
partidos de la Liga
our
de primera edición de la
matches,
Liga
there,
Santander, pero que luego tiene mucho contenido de
and they have
entretenimiento que tiene que ir
loads of
dando
content. It's
durante
just
la
it's
semana y durante el
entertainment
año a
during
sus-
the
a sus
week. It's
clientes, ¿no? Y ese
because people
cambio,
want to
ese
know
cambio
where
de
the match
modelo
is going to be,
cultural, ¿no?
who's
Yo
going
creo
to
que
play,
no es lo
what
mismo
what
ser
the
organizador
all the
solo de la
background.
competición,
So
vender unos derechos que
so we want to sell rights,
crearte ya una estructura interna
and we
y que
want
es
to
una
create an
industria, un
internal
tenedor de
structure
contenidos,
that
pues como Disney,
is
como
basically like
otros,
like
pero
Disney, like
con un gran
others, like
contenido,
Warner
¿no? Y
Bros.
es lo que
We have
hemos
huge
trabajado estos 2
content,
años, ¿no?
and this is what
Y
we
ahí
have been
estamos dando
working
valor,
on the
¿no?
last
Sobre todo
couple of years.
en el último año,
Especially
pues
in the
hemos también
last
cambiado
year,
lo que
we
sería nuestra
have
cúpula ejecutiva de la
changed
Liga, ¿no?
our
Dando
executive
entrada a
board,
ejecutivos pues que conocen bien el sector del
because
entretenimiento, ¿no?
these people know
sector
the
digital,
entertainment
¿no?
sector extremely well,
desde
the
personas que
digital
vienen de
environment
Netflix,
extremely well, especially
como
the
nuestro
Netflix
jefe de
people,
comunicación global,
and
personas que vienen de
and
Facebook,
also people. They know all about
nuestro director de
Facebook, they
estrategia
know about
digital,
Twitter, they know
personas que vienen del
the
mundo de la marca
digital
de fuera del
environment.
fútbol,
Also,
de
they come from
grupos sanitarios,
outside
por
of the
ejemplo,
world of football, from
personas que
other
estaban dentro, pero que también adquieren
worlds,
más, muy
but
dedicadas al
who
mundo
know
audiovisual.
exactly how to
Hoy nuestro
convey
comité, vamos a decir,
messages and
ejecutivo,
how to convey content
tiene
and how
una
to make
parte muy-
people interested
una
in
parte de
content.
deporte, de organizadora del fin de
So,
semana,
Also, the idea is just not to organize the weekend for these people, for our fans, but to organize the entire week. So, and this has actually increased our value significantly because we have our fans, but not just our fans. All sorts of people want to look at what we are transmitting. So how is it different from other leagues? Well, I think that what we have done with our executive committee, these are all professionals and they're all focused on producing entertainment, not just football. So our spectators see the telly, the product, but we have improved it significantly. We have the sensation, the story that we were telling during our matches had to be improved. And so this is what we have done. So it's like a film. It has a good plot, but you need a better decor. You need how to make sure that this is a very interesting film to look at. So we've invested in this sense. We've got aerial cameras. We've got more steady cams. We have 360 views of the football pitches. We have more interviews before, during, and after the match, and also what is going on not just on the field, but also around the field. And so we basically have 10 different films or movies going on during the weekend, and each one of these films has to be extremely interesting, whether it's Real Madrid playing against Atletico Madrid or it's Villarreal playing against somebody else. The way in which we have invested with cameras, so everybody will have it for a period of 5 years. And so the way in which we're telling this lovely story, which is football during the weekends, is like as if we had amazing film stars on show, live, obviously. And so what we see is extremely important, and also with the digital strategy, which makes it very easy to see all of this. So this is the goal we were looking for. And so the period between the matches to have our fans sort of very actively interested in the strategies, what goes on behind the lines, who's going to play, who's going to do whatever. And so, I mean, it's not just Facebook or other social media, but also all the different things we have being broadcasted during the week, so as to build the pathos for the weekend. So we're not just having Real Madrid grow, we have everybody grow. And so that everybody can sort of be interested in all the different football teams. And then we are going to move on to LFP, which would be a way to identify what everybody wanted to see. So everybody was doing it, excepting LaLiga. Now we're also doing it. And so this is the first step, is so that the product will be a lot better, definitely better, and because we want to compete on the markets. Obviously, the prices have gone up a bit, but of course, if you want to compete with Formula One, for example, or the English Football League, or Premier League, or other leagues, you have to give a better product, obviously. So, and also this takes up the time and the money of our customers. If they're going to choose us, it's because we are worth it, and we have to be worth it because this is something that. So of course we have to subdivide the cake between everybody, but of course the cake has to be bigger. So this comparison between La Liga and the entertainment industry. So what about the big players? Do they represent a challenge? Well, if you have the best football players of the world, obviously this is a challenge because and so 8 of the best football players in the world are playing in La Liga. And so they do not have to become a problem, obviously, but they have to be exploited, between inverted commas, in the best possible way. But we also have to create new stars. With Valencia, Sevilla, Real Madrid, etc. We have the important thing is to give these teams the income in order to buy these players, and because if we have the possibility, these teams will produce new champions, will produce new stars. And so this is something that it's sort of feeding itself. Because if we give economic content to these clubs, they can purchase better players, they can also have the possibility of seeing their own young teams develop new stars. And obviously, if they don't have the economic means, of course, it's impossible to have stars playing in these teams. So you have been associated to other leagues in the world, for South Africa, Portugal, others. Well, our goal is because we are trying to have a closer relationship with our homologues in these other areas of the world. We do not want to be colonizers of the industry, the football industry in these countries, but so the La Liga comes along and the local product is sort of placed in a teeny weeny little corner. No, we don't want this to happen. We don't want to be, we want to be associated to football industry of the place. We want it to be strong in all countries. So we do not want to have any problems, for example, with the Kenyan Football League, sort of making them disappear into the background. No. We want everybody to grow. We want to be associated to these other leagues so as to make them grow, make them stronger. And we've been working on this, of course. We don't want these people to see us as colonizers, but we want to help them grow. Also because football has this passionate content, and obviously the local content is extremely important for the local people. And then so we want to be number 2 in other countries of the world. We don't want to be number 1. So how are you seeing growth? Well, at international level, so in order to be able to grow, we have to have a very good product. So we're doing it very well now. And well, 3 or 4 years ago, it was completely different vis-a-vis today. If you look at our partners, if you look at what we have been doing, I mean, the product is completely different. But this is not enough in order to create an industry. So you need to have the signal go all the way up to the satellite and come and sort of have a downfall on 200 countries. No, that's not enough. You need a campaign. You need. So we have opened 12 different offices in all sorts of places in New Delhi, Beijing, Shanghai, etc. And last year we have started with our marketing, with our international marketing. We have delegations and representatives in 50 different countries. Why do we have all of this structure? Well, because we have to be close to the communication means, to the mass media of these countries, because we have to make sure that we count in the digital world of all these countries. So So let's say when we are looking at, for example, the African Football Cup, we want the people from that football cup to come up in our shows. And also 10 days ago, in Nigeria, we spoke in Pinglish to the Nigerian people, and this came out in all the different newspapers in Nigeria, because they were very happy. They were all very happy because these people will be able to follow us, because we try to speak the local language, we try to speak with the local people, so we organize events. So of course you also need quality in the signal. Of course, this is extremely important. You have a good signal, go all the way up to the satellite and down to reach all these other countries. So, but if you don't do all of this together, it is useless. So, you're talking about social responsibility. You have different projects that you have started with LaLiga. So, LaLiga Genuine. What is it? Well, we conceived this a fortnight ago, and it is devoted to people who have intellectual disabilities. And so this will be shown for these young people, because we have created a team of young people who have problems, mental problems or disability problems. So every fortnight they will play. So we have to move 500 of these kids, and we do this in Tarragona, Mallorca, and other places. And it's like a sort of a minor football league, but it's for the young people who have either physical disabilities or mental disabilities. And because we want football not just for stars or for super athletes, but we also have to think about people who would love to play, but who will never play in a normal football team. So our obligation is to somehow make sure that society will see these people. This is a very materialistic society, the one we're living in today, and very little social sensibility or awareness. And so we think that we want to do something that has a completely different outlook, a completely different goal. And but this is what we're trying to do. We hope we can be successful. But we want to transmit the values, not just for super-duper people. We want also people who are not so lucky to participate. Another initiative that you call Liga for Sports. So the Liga for Sports is a project. We are devoting important economic resources to this project, and for other sport federations in Spain. In Spain, like all other different European countries, football is extremely important, but there's not just football, there's all sorts of other sports, and we can't be too egotistical. We want to also help other Spanish sports. So we're going to devote an important amount of money to all for example, table tennis, the Table Tennis Federation, and other federations. And also we want to make sure that this project will work, because we want to create other channels so that these sports will have visibility. And otherwise, for these sports, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to sell rights, for them to be visible in the international environment. So what we want to do is to make sure that they will be visible, and also to organize them so that whether they will become profitable in the future, so to speak. So, because these are sports that will never have a broadcaster come to ask them to air their shows or air their matches. So this is what we want to do. I want to touch another topic. What about the Catalonia independence problem? Well, obviously, this has caused a great instability in the environment. And of course, this will have an impact in all sorts of economic sectors, in the banks and the stock exchange. And also, when we talk about rights, football rights, well, now we are in a phase where this madness is coming to an end. Everything is going to sort of fall back into its proper place. And of course, Spain will still be a nation that will be one nation. And of course, we have to send out correct messages. And we also are going to talk about post-truth. And I don't know, because many lies have been told, many things have been said which are really not true. So the banks are going to stay, we're going to be European, etc., etc. So we, okay, so we're going to be sending out messages of the so-called post-truth. And anyway, I think that this madness has basically come to an end, and obviously we're going to have maybe some traumas, maybe some other issues, maybe some other problems, but what we are talking about is La Liga Española, which means the Spanish La Liga. And this is going to remain the same. Another topic.
Financial fair play.
Financial fair play. What do you think about the Neymar case, among others? Well, I don't want to go back to the Neymar case, basically. Since the month of March, we've had several meetings with Nasser, with other people, and also with Manchester City. And of course, it's the UEFA that has to respect the laws of the market and also the rules of the market. And so whatever they do, if they do it in an improper way, they will destabilize the market, because and this will go on for many years. And so you can't just want a player and do all sorts of crazy things to get him. So, and I think that UEFA, well, we hope it is going to take its measures. Otherwise, we're going to denounce, we're going to sort of start litigation with the European Union, because this is an industry. I mean, it's not, and if you don't have controls, severe controls, because this is a market that goes beyond national boundaries and borders. We have rules, and somebody has to make these rules respected. So the market is big, the market is there, it's been there for many years, but the idea is to send out a very clear message. I'm not really worried for the Spanish league or for the Spanish football, but okay, so we want to make sure that whatever we used to do years ago, we can still keep on doing now. And also, we want to make sure that we're not losing points, we're not losing possibilities along our path. So La Liga has 20 points. We don't want them to be 80, 85 5 points, etc. Now let's just go back to platforms and the multiplication of screens, talking about rights. Does this increase value? What is actually happening today in the audiovisual world? There's so many televisions, there's so many networks, there's so many channels. And so when the world of telecommunications starts buying rights, well, of course, this is a certain revolution. And we've had, in France, we've had FSR, for example, or others. So something new is happening, something different. So even Teleco has become an audiovisual content provider. So the world of telecommunication is entering the world of audiovisuals, especially the world of sports. So it is a reconditioning of the sector. So what happens to us? Well, we want to make sure that anything that is being transmitted has to be done in an adequate manner. You have to set all the rights in place, and you have to do it in a suitable manner. So the more suitable, the better, obviously. But which kind of repercussion is it going to have on prices? Well, we can't really say for the time being. There's so many territories, there's so many things being involved that are interested in sports content that we have to really look into it in great detail. We want to make sure we're not doing the wrong thing. But of course, all these new customers, and of course, even in Spain, we have huge growth. People want to look at football on their tablets, on their mobiles. We have to be prepared, however, for what the future has in store for us. Because the idea, first of all, like I was saying a while ago, is that we need a very good product. And then, of course, we can sort of iron out all the details, a little step at a time. And, of course, this is a transition moment. So, and we do not want to create any sorts of ruptures or anything, but it is obviously clear that the premium products, like, for example, LaLiga, they're going to still be premium, and they're going to have an important value. So, of course, there's markets, everybody knows about it. But like OTT, it's not just the mobile telephone industry that is involved, but we can't have exclusive. So they need content, but we need to reorganize the whole thing. We have to be prepared for this, and we're working. Because if we need to come up with a specific channel, why not? We can organize a specific channel for this kind of content. It can be OTT, it can be Telepo. Because in the world of telecommunications, of course, what we are seeing is a reorganization of these telecommunication companies. Some are going to become just providers of content, and they're going to give them all sorts of things, but the idea they're going to become distributors. But of course, LaLiga Premier is going to still be Premier, is going to be a premium product, and if you want content, and just by pressing this button, of course, behind that button, there is a whole world of things. There's going to be a red button, it's going to be Netflix, another is going to be Champion, another is going to be La Liga Española, another button, another color is going to be another content. So, okay, fine, maybe we could do it like that. We don't really know. So all of this that is happening is very difficult to make any forecasts. But of course, we have to be prepared for the different scenarios of the future. And because, of course, the digital content from now to 2030 is going to be completely different. So, of course, maybe you're going to look at sports through other channels other than television. Maybe television will be gone by 2030, who knows? But still, we have to be prepared. So it's very difficult to talk about all this without mentioning piracy. Well, I know it's impossible to forget piracy, especially during the weekend when we have live transmissions and broadcasting. They just steal the product. And so we have an anti-piracy unit which is absolutely unique in the entire world. And because we're fighting against this, we are devoting huge amounts of money in order to avoid piracy, especially in the technological field and also the legal and in the lobby environment. So our department detects every single weekend all the different networks of the world, and we immediately see who's pirating our shows. Whether it's through Google, it's through Apple, it's through something else, we know because we can detect it, and we are cooperating with basically everybody in the world in order to help everybody. And we have achieved huge results in avoiding this, also in the social networks, because we have taken away huge amounts of wireless, and also Google has to cooperate with us. They are cooperating, by the way. And if you had asked me this question 3 years ago, I wouldn't have known what to answer you. But now, of course, I know, and they are cooperating with us. And this is absolutely necessary because we have to absolutely eliminate those places, those areas where you can see a snatch of a football match, a snatch of any kind of sport just being pirated. In other words, nobody's paying any rights for it. And because obviously if we want to somehow turn all of this into money, we have to make sure that nobody is taking it away from us for free. Of course, this is what we're doing. So thank you very much. We have, I think, come to an end. So this is my last question. How do you see La Liga in the future? Well, let me talk to you about the future when you stop just being an organizer of a competition, but rather a member of a very important industry, like I was saying before, the entertainment industry. We think that our strategy is going to help us immensely in the future to be there. We want to be on the spot. We want to be broadcasted all over the place. We want to have contracts. We want to have a good product. We want to have people who are eager, absolutely eager to see what we supply them with. And of course, this has to be done properly, because if we want to turn this into money, it has to be tip-top quality, and it has to be a model for OTT, for example. And we just don't want the usual channels. We want to have multi-channels. We want to have different platforms. And whether it's going to be called Liga Flix or Sportflix or Spanish Flix, it doesn't matter. But Netflix or Football or whatever. And of course, regardless which OTT can spring up in the future, this is what we want to be in the future, something people want to look at eagerly. Do we have any questions? We need a microphone, please.
Sobre la implementación del
Talking about the implementation of the a video to assist the referees. Does this depend from LaLiga, or is it the federation who has to decide? In all the different countries in the world, it goes through the federation. It's not LaLiga who's deciding whether the referees are going to have the camera. So, and I think that this is absolutely important because we're going to have a good referees, and we will avoid polemics.
Señor Tebas,
Mr. Tebas,
Cataluña, ¿sería posible
would it be possible
Barcelona
for Catalunya
y Español
and
de quedar
Barcelona
parte de la
and
Liga
Español to
en
be
un
part of
Cataluña
La Liga
independiente?
with an independent Catalunya? I think I have answered you, sort of answered you before. Well, no, not really. No, not really. Well, Catalunya is Spain, and of course Barcelona is Spain, and so I think that, of course, we have to consider that the Spanish public will look at Barcelona, will look at all these other football, and so we're going to. I think that the post-truth is extremely important. Many lies have been told, and it won't change. So good afternoon, Mr. Javier. I have a question as far as the Liga is concerned. You're very worried about the democratization at economic level of football throughout the world. And when you talk about democratization, I think that with the prices going up every year, maybe in the future football will be extremely elitarian, just a thing for the elite, for very rich people, and to look at. So, and I would also like to say that maybe the fact that it could be more democratic, more open to the rest of the world, would avoid piracy, because when people cannot afford to see football or any other thing like a film or anything because it's too expensive, they will find a way, and it's not something that you can stop. So maybe the issue is extremely important. Maybe La Liga is thinking in ways in which to avoid this phenomenon to take place. The football product is a very good product, and it produces huge economic return. So, and what we have proposed for the European leagues with the money coming from the Champions League, that to have a good returns, and this has to be divided between everybody else, so the small and medium-sized clubs in the different European countries can get some more money. But the idea is to become more democratic. Now, talking about piracy, well, I don't think it's very expensive. I think football is very cheap. In Spain, in any other place, with the thematic channels, it will cost you 12 euros to see a football match. It's very, very cheap. So they just, piracy is not because it's expensive to look at it, but rather because they just want to do it. So football is very, very cheap. And so I think that the consumer is paying very little to watch football through a regular channel, paying a regular electronic ticket. And so In Spain, a few years ago, they were paying 1,700, and now then it came 3 million, and now it's 5 million. It's not because we have increased the prices, but because there's so many more people watching us. So we haven't had to increase prices to get more money. So thank you very much for being here today. And he apologizes for being so late, but it wasn't his fault. It was the plane. Thank you very much.